three, four. You say you stand by your man. You tell me something I don't understand. You said you love me, and that's a fact. And then you left me, said you felt trapped. Well, some things you can't explain away, but the heartache's in me till this day. Did you stand by me? Oh, not at all. Did you stand by me? No way. And all the times when we were close, well, I remember these things the most.
Hello there, Tony Medley once again, and a lovely warm welcome to my workshop. As you can see outside, it's glorious out there. It's probably about 10 degrees, but anyway, it's quite nice. Today's project, I'm gonna make. I made one a year or two, probably 2-3 years ago. A brickwork effect bowl made out of sapele and maple. I think it's a nice contrast. What I'm going to do, obviously I've got a piece of sapele here. It's about 265 millimeters across. I've marked the centres off, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to glue a chucking point onto that, and then obviously we can get it squared off. I'm going to cut the corners off on the bandsaw. We'll get it in, and then I will go through stage by stage what I'm doing with the brickwork effect for the segments. So without further ado, we'll get the corners cut off. Well, I've cut the maple 4 millimeters thick, and what we're going to do now is glue them two together. After the glue had dried, I then planed the maple down to 3 millimeters on the rough side. Well, I've rounded it all off and I've made it nice and flush, so that we're going to put 3 rings on here. We're going to do 16 segments per ring. The shims, what I'm going to put in to make the brickwork up, are 3 millimeters in width, so that's 48 millimeters. It's 800 millimeters the circumference, so that gives us a total of, divided by 16, is 752 millimeters and 48 millimeters for the shims. So that equals 16 is 47 millimeters, the length of each brickwork. Well, I've made the bits of wood up, what we're going to make the segments from. 3 millimeter of white maple, and if you remember back to the last video, you need, so important that you put a black solid line down one side. There's no need to put the squiggly line on this one because obviously we've got the white what will go on, so it'll keep them all the same way. So all we need is just the 3 lengths all marking up. Well, it's time to cut the segments, and as I said in my previous videos, you cut the first slice on number 1, second slice on this side, number 2, third slice back to number 1, fourth slice back to number 2, and onwards like that. As I said previously, we need, the length is 47 millimeters on the longest side, and that should take us to the full 800 millimeters. What I've done now is I've cut some maple the same size as the end of them 2 pieces put together, what will fit on the end, so that they're a nice snug fit. And what we're going to do is cut them into shims of 3 millimeters long, or 3 millimeters wide should I say, and we need 48 of them, so we'll cut about 50 off. Right, we've got the segments to make one ring, and what you need is you need 16 of the shims, as it's going to be a 16-piece ring. We want 8 with the line on the short side and 8 with the line on the long side. And what we need to do now is just get all the fuzzies off. Don't go too much on that because that's the correct angle. All we want is just them fuzzies off. And then obviously we'll get ready to glue them up. Well, I've sanded them all down nice and smooth so that there's no gaps, and it's so important that you haven't got any gaps whatsoever, because when you put it on the bowl it'll look absolutely awful. What I also do is just mark lines so that when I glue them together all the lines have to match up, so that this looks definitely like brickwork effect. I'm going to use my new clamp, or should I say press clamp. It took me approximately 30 minutes to make. So simple and so effective. First time I've used it, so hopefully it'll be a success. So we'll start by putting these on and gluing them up. What I'm also going to use is the 250mm top. I made a 300, 250 and a 200 and also a 150 top. So what we'll do now, we'll crack on with the gluing up of it and glue them all together. Sorry, I've deleted the audio file that was supposed to go with this. I don't know how I've done that, but I have done it. Anyway, what I was saying was I've reversed the bowl round because it's so important to do the bottom, as when people pick them up, if it's not finished off, it turns them straight off. All I've done, I've sanded it down, cleaned with methylated spirits, put 4 coats of wax on, and then a final coat of microcrystalline wax on it. Another one finally done. I put a lot of hours into this one, but as you can see, it was worth every second. Every segment absolutely superb. You can't beat the Seg Easy sled or the gauges what you put in. Absolutely superb every time. As I said earlier on, the bottom's just as important as the sides and inside the bowl. So really enjoyed that, and I hope that you'll try that, because as you know, segmented bowls or vessels, vases, anything like that, you know, absolutely over the moon with them. I'm quite passionate, if I'm totally honest. Absolutely love it. I know it takes a lot of time, but at the end I think it's worth it. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, share, and I will catch up with you on the next video. Thanks for watching now. Bye.